Today we are speaking with Mucho Belinda, founder of lingoonthego.com, an online website that offers interpretation services in Swahili, French, Kinyarwanda, Kirundi, Lingala, and Luganda. Mr. Belinda, it's a pleasure to speak with you today. I'd like to ask, on your website, you mentioned two elements that are essential to providing excellent interpretation services: language skill and cultural awareness. Today we are talking about cultural awareness, but before you speak on that topic, I'd like to ask, what is the role of an interpreter?
Thank you very much for that question. The role of an interpreter is twofold. Number one, to take a message that is communicated in one language, render that message into another language without changing the content and the context of the original message. For example, if person A says to person B, "I love you," and the interpreter needs to translate that message in Kinyarwanda because person B speaks Kinyarwanda, the interpreter will have to say "Ndagukunda," because Ndagukunda means "I love you" in Kinyarwanda. Now, if the interpreter changes the word and says, for example, "Ndagukeneye," which means "I need you," person B will hear a different message than what person A wanted to transmit to person B, and that creates a problem of communication. And element number two in the role of an interpreter is to clear any potential for miscommunication or misunderstanding in communication, because words and signs and different elements mean different things to different people. For instance, there are cultures when you ask somebody, "How are you?" They will give you details. They'll talk about their children, they'll talk about their education, they'll talk about their wives, they'll talk about their husbands, they'll talk about healthcare, they'll talk about everything related to their life. And there are other cultures, when you ask the same question, they'll tell you, "Fine, thank you," or "I am good." And so when you bring these two people together, or when these two people have something to discuss, their exchange or their interaction may create some challenges, because one person will interpret the response of the other in a different way. And so as an interpreter, it's very important to understand those differences and clear the environment of that potential error of communication. And that, combined with the first element of conveying the message, are the key elements that the interpreter needs to play, the role that the interpreter needs to play in a communication.
Thank you. That was very thorough and helped clear things up. I'd also like to ask you, it sounds like you have experience and knowledge on this subject, so why does cultural awareness matter in language interpretation?
Cultural awareness matters because it's the foundation of communication, especially when it comes to people who come from different cultural backgrounds. When they are communicating, it's very important for both cultures to understand where each person is coming from. Because when there is absence of that mutual understanding, issues, conflicts, tensions may arise because the response that one person brings may be interpreted as to mean something else. For instance, in America, when somebody does the thumbs up sign, it means that they are agreeing or they are approving something. But there are other languages where that sign means something totally different. And so when you are acting as a bridge, or you are helping people from those two different cultures, it is very important to help them understand what is being communicated. When an American does thumbs up, you need to explain to the other person that that means they are agreeing. And when the non-American to whom thumbs up doesn't mean approval, you need to help them clarify what they mean so that the American does not misunderstand what they mean. And so the role of cultural awareness is very important because it helps eliminate, it helps avoid conflicts between two people who are communicating. It also helps remove any tendency for people to be judgmental, being critical toward one another. So it removes that from their communication. It also helps to focus the message. People know what to focus on and what to leave aside. And so that is why cultural awareness is very important in communication.
Thank you, Mr. Belinda. It was a pleasure speaking with you today.
Likewise. Thank you very much.